stay a while and listen.
Welcome to the AOP podcast. Until the authors of pain somehow start a podcast and we are forced to change our name. Because that's what I'm expecting to happen one day.
Sure.
Well,
they WWE is trying to steal. Well, I don't know if they're trying to steal it. The bad boy.
Wait, who are they calling the bad boy? I haven't even heard.
Rusev. They've been putting it in there around. They've been calling the Rusev the bad boy, and so Janela, I guess, filed a trademark.
Why didn't he already have a trademark?
Yeah, you would think that he would have did that a long time ago, but I guess he followed it.
Just recent,
yeah.
I mean, he might be behind the times, like. Because
I mean,
we're going to be in trademark wars.
WWE wouldn't do something like that. No, I mean, they're not that petty, are they?
I mean, business is business. I mean, Cody's going after trademarks left and right. But so
my name is Saul, by the way.
Yes. We were just watching a couple clips, and every time they refer to him as AOP, It's like we can always go back to Agony of Positivity and just use the full name.
Yeah.
But so we're going to be looking for alternative names just to be on the safe side. In case they want to follow New Day's footprint.
Yeah.
But for the right price, they can buy the Twitter handle.
Yes.
So if nothing else, we do have that. So we might be able to get some money out of it.
We can be bought.
It won't take much, honestly.
Yes.
So if they hear that, then that is fantastic. So how has your week been?
My week, it's been all right. It's just
Normal week.
Normal week, nothing spectacular.
Been about mine. I've somehow been super busy this week, but I don't really know why. Like, when I look back, it's not like I accomplished anything.
Yeah.
It just felt like I had no time for anything. Like, go to work, come home, go to work, come home.
Yeah.
That was just very bizarre.
I put up Christmas lights. I mean, that's one thing I did outside. Yeah.
Hooray.
I
don't know what.
Well, you asked what I did.
Yes.
I just thrown it out there that I put up some. No, Ross, I want you to, like, oh my God, Saul. Thank you.
I just don't get. I don't get decoration.
I just don't get Christmas. I don't get it.
Well, I mean, I kind of don't.
Yeah.
But I don't get the decorating, because what I don't like about decorating is you have to take it down. Yeah. Which is, there was the old Mitch Hedberg thing where people don't like certain things because they're like, oh, I don't like this because then I'll have a hangover or something like that. That's how I feel about it. It's like, well, yeah, there is an enjoyment part to it, but for certain things, it's just like, I don't know. It's like there's certain meals that you could, like, oh, I can make that.
Yeah.
And then I got to do about 57 dishes.
It's true.
I'm just going to order a pizza and throw a box out.
It's true.
So I'm on that route with it.
Yeah.
So we are going to start this week with wrestling.
With some wrestling?
We're going to have the game talk in the middle. I'm going to start doing, if anyone ever looks at show notes, we're going to put like a time thing in where the stuff goes to for the next one.
Okay.
Like whatever the minute is. So if you want to skip to something because you don't care about wrestling or you don't care about games or whatever. We're going to talk about Mandalorian.
Yep.
We're going to talk about episode 4.
Yep.
I've seen 5, so we could talk about that.
Okay.
But I figure we'll do that as the very last thing.
Okay.
So if people want to avoid spoiler, they can just stop listening right there. They will miss out on our witty banner.
Yes.
Any horrible jokes we make during that time. But I was thinking that might be a good way to go for today.
I was listening to the podcast one day while I was working.
Yes.
And this noise right here, it sounds like I was playing like Yahtzee in the background. I am not. I am drinking water. But
that's not true.
Yes, I'm playing Yahtzee right now.
We are actually at a senior center where they are.
Yes.
I can't wait till we take the show on the road to the flea market.
Yes.
That is an old idea that we have had, is the flea market episode.
I really want to do it. We're going to have a booth.
There's going to come a day where we either make some money or we do a Patreon or something.
Yeah.
And we can afford to rent a booth for a day. And just like...
And have people baffled like, what are you guys selling there?
Nothing.
We're just doing a podcast.
You want to be interviewed?
Yes.
What do you want to talk about? Try to keep the profanity out of it.
Yes.
Don't incriminate yourself.
Yes.
if your phone has music that is going to get copyright struck, don't let it ring.
Yes.
Speaking of copyright strikes, we're starting to put the podcast on YouTube. So,
okay. I was going to say, where's this going?
Yes. So far we have no copyright strikes, but we have like almost no views because we don't even have like, if you listen to this and you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, just long enough for us to get the custom URL where we can actually have something other than 35BY uppercase U. Feel free to do that. Do it on your friends' computers.
Yes. Make
up accounts at Costco.
Yes.
Do it like that. Once we hit the 100 and we get the URL, you can unsubscribe. As it is right now, my intent at least is we'll just post the whole show there with our little logo.
Yeah.
And then anything extra, we'll maybe make some stuff there. I was thinking about taking like some of the old format shows where we're trying to be positive and kind of cutting out some of the good stuff with that and just putting that up there as well. As opposed to full episodes. Like that just seems like if you want the full episode of something that's old, they all exist. You can find them on iTunes or Libsyn or Spotify, or we'll go click on our website. Like you can get there for sure.
Yes.
So agonypositivity.com. Okay. So we're gonna get into wrestling first, but you specifically have one of the greatest moments in the Attitude Era that you just recently found out about somehow.
Well, so after like WCW went out of business, I watched WWE maybe for a couple months. I've never been a WWE guy, so I'm like, meh. And I just fell out. I out of wrestling. I stopped watching it for. I would say good. I mean, I miss CM Punk's his whole reign.
You missed some real good stuff.
Yeah.
But you also dodged some bullets.
I'm sure.
To be sure.
So I heard about this like worst wrestling storylines in the history or whatever on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I clicked on it and it had the Big Boss Man and the Big Show's funeral. I had never even heard of this. Yes. And I watched it. I was like, this is just dumb. You liked it though.
I think it's. So there's going to be something we talk about from SmackDown with the dog food.
Yeah.
That it falls into the same thing where it's just so over the top that I can't not just love it. Because, so we'll kind of do like a play-by-play setup to this since we just watched it before this. But, so Boss Man and Big Show are feuding. There's all kinds of stuff going on with those two. But it culminates where they're going to go ahead and do like a funeral for Boss Man's dad. Well... I'm sorry, Big Show. The word big in both names really is going to confuse me during this.
Sure.
Right? So Big Show's at the funeral in all leather clothing, I guess. I don't understand that one at all.
Yes.
But, so Boss Man shows up in the old style police car, which isn't what they were using at the time, like the Blues Brothers. And he's got this enormous megaphone on the top of the car.
Yes.
And it sounds like AEW's audio.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, burn. And he's just
like that AEW.
He's just going off on Boss Man and his family and making horrible remarks. And then the Big Show decides to like try to climb up on the car for some reason.
Yeah.
Like if this dude is showing up like this to interrupt your daddy's funeral, he's gonna run you over. So he takes Big Show down with the car. The family all runs over, and Boss Man pulls up beside the casket.
Yeah.
And you see him come out with these chains, and it's just like, what is going on here? And they keep cutting shots back and forth, and, checking out on Big Show who's still on the ground.
Yeah.
So Boss Man has strapped the casket to the back of the police car. It starts to drive off with it. To which Big Show runs and dives on the casket because if you are truly grief-stricken, you're like, no, I can't let him steal my dead father, I suppose. And so it just kind of like Big Show falls off the casket, and then it just shows Boss Man driving away. Well, so that's what you see. So now, would you agree that that's one of the worst things ever, or you didn't like it at all?
I didn't like it. I thought it was dumb.
I thought it was awesome. So
this is the thing. This is why I never really liked WWE that much, because they take me out of the immersion of what I'm really watching, which is two guys fighting each other for a belt or whatever. I don't know. If you start doing stuff like this, I start realizing what it really is. Bad acting. Bad acting.
So what's funny though, like for me, is like that's so ridiculous. It's okay to me. Like they weren't playing it cute, basically.
Yeah.
Like they went full on with what they were going to do.
Sure.
It just, they committed to it full on. Now you bring out something like Adam Rose with his rosebuds, or No Way Jose in the conga line.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Even though that is more realistic as a sports performer, because you're going to have like the egos. You want the theatrics, like to draw attention to yourself.
Now Adam Rose's his little thing that he did for a little bit with the bunny, that was getting interesting. Where the bunny was trying to upstage him and everything, and then they just like, we ain't gonna do anything with it.
I didn't care for the bunny.
Really?
But that just showed like.
Yeah.
Like when they say fans are fickle.
Yeah.
I would definitely I'm not a very vocal fan.
Yeah.
As far as like social media and this is awful and I want the world to burn.
Yeah.
But my own opinions are definitely very fickle.
Sure.
Where like the bunny, the rosebuds, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Garbage. Boss Man funeral. Fantastic.
Gold. Vince McMahon blowing up in a limousine. Great.
That one I was indifferent on. Like
Roman Reigns, scaffolding falls on him.
That was okay.
Yeah.
Like, there's like most stuff I'm pretty like, okay, we'll see where this goes. And then there's something I'm like, oh, this was fantastic. Or this is one of the worst things I've ever seen. It's so great.
Yeah.
And then there's other things that's like just modern. I'm like, nope, I draw the line at this. I still don't like Chris Jericho to this day because of the Man of 1,004 Holds and Dean Malenko feud. Like, when he's got in Malenko's face, when he was one of the judges for that title match, I wanted Malenko to punch him.
Since you brought up Chris Jericho in the 1,004 holds, I just realized that the list has been around for a very, very, very long time.
In one form or another?
Yes.
Currently the Lexicon?
The Lexicon, yes.
So I do have a question. Going back to the Boss Man and Big Show funeral.
Okay.
So that just ends. Like, the ending shot is Boss Man laying on, or Big Show on the ground.
Yeah.
Boss Man driving away. What else happened after that? Like, if you're thinking, did he like drive out of the cemetery with this casket?
Well, that's why he was on American Most Wanted, because he stole the body.
Yes. So I don't know how you could talk about Boss Man without that as far as an entertainment.
Yeah.
So Big Boss Man. So I found out about this initially from the Something to Wrestle With.
Okay. Yeah.
Bruce Pritchard podcast.
Yeah.
I think that's the correct timing on the pause there, but where. Someone who looked like Boss Man was on America's Most Wanted, and they kept getting tips about it. And like Bruce Pritchard was doing his one of the various impressions, but he's like, "I know where he's going to be. He's going to be down at the Coliseum fighting the Undertaker." I'll set up an operate, stuff like that. Or, the one thing he's like, "I think I'll let the Undertaker take care of him."
Yes.
Like stuff like that, and I just thought it was hilarious that. And we pulled up like the picture.
I mean, he looks like the guy.
It's very similar, especially what they showed of the Boss Man.
Yeah.
But to where they had to send Boss Man on America's Most Wanted to get people to stop calling for him. They're like,
I thought it was funny that Bruce Pritchard said, they actually they interviewed him and everything, or questioned him, not interviewed him. Questioned him, and I guess the Big Boss Man schedule showed that he wasn't part of it. It's like, well, what if it didn't match up?
It turned out it was the Big Boss Man. If you believe in alternate realities, there's one where Big Boss Man was that criminal.
Yes, yeah.
And then they replaced him. Or Big Boss Man got arrested because he framed that guy.
Yes.
And that guy was the new Big Boss Man.
Yeah. So the Big Boss Man, good character.
Fantastic.
He was a good character. Other than the funeral.
I thought that was good.
Anyway.
Yeah, he's definitely, like, watching old stuff. I never realized how fast he was and how big he was. Because everybody was so big back then.
Yeah.
But kind of like Billy Gunn in AEW, where you're like, I thought Billy Gunn was like my size. He is a monster compared to normal people.
Sure.
So, all right. So we got
AEW.
Yeah. What did you watch this week? I watched AEW and I watched Power.
I watched that.
And I checked some highlights on SmackDown.
I watched bits and pieces of NXT.
Okay.
I thought it was good.
Okay, so you can talk about that, but again, we're going to try to run through this and not get too bogged down in super detail.
Yeah, but you did bring it up, the audio, my AEW. I love you.
On this particular one, I was reading through Reddit at the time because I was like, what is going on with this? This is like 2 weeks in a row. Apparently, they sent out a feed that goes to TNT, I believe the Fight app for overseas, and TSN.
Okay.
On TSN and the Fight app, if that's the correct other two places it was fed to, audio was fine. So this particular instance was specifically with TNT, whatever they were doing with the production on their side once they got the feed. Gotcha. That's what was causing the audio levels to be all crazy.
Well, it looks like also they're actually piping in the music now.
They might have just given up on what they were trying.
Yeah.
So I commend them for wanting to try to get like the feel.
Yeah.
But
because the music I actually heard it this time. Right. I was like, wow.
I mean, I'm okay with whatever they do, but it sounds like from what people were saying, the other feeds that were going at the same time, the audio was okay. So that this particular one could have been TNT specifically messing something up. But that's not to say that they've not had audio issues. Like, there's no way to deny that. I mean, I'll suffer through it. It's fine. I'm more interested in like the overall stuff going on.
Sure. I mean, I would rather see the actual picture than audio.
Yeah.
I mean, if I just heard them in the picture.
So we kick off with the Bucks and Dustin against Sammy and Pride and Powerful.
It was good.
Proud and Powerful.
It was a good match.
I mean, it was a 3-way match. I mean, it was exciting.
I know everyone on Twitter was getting on Sammy because it looked like as he was blogging, it looked like he just jumped in midair.
Yeah, but when you see, did you see the picture from the other angle?
Yeah,
where
Matt showed Matt got up.
Like Matt is incredibly fast. Yeah. Is what that showed to me.
Yeah,
I did not realize he was that quick because he was like flat standing, super kicking.
Yeah,
in a really quick time. But yeah, the way they cut that definitely made Sammy look worse.
Yes.
I would like to comment that the size of Sammy's trunks are incredibly small, and it almost disturbs me at times. Where it's just weird almost. It's like that. I'm like, I don't think that would be comfortable.
Sure.
Like I don't really have more to add other than I was just like,
get some pants. Get some pants, Sammy.
Well,
get some pants.
It just looks so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He is a very strange wrestler to me. He was on Jericho's podcast this week.
Yeah. And
I listened to it. As a character on AEW, I hate Sammy.
Yes.
It's like early Miz was probably to people where I just don't like him. But anytime there's like where he's really talking like a real human being, he's very likable.
Well, JR says now he might be like this in real life outside of his character, but when JR compares him to Eddie Guerrero, I'm like, no, I did not hate Eddie Guerrero as much as I hate this guy. So
I mean, he's definitely really good.
Yeah,
and I mean, I'm not supposed to like him.
He's supposed to come across
that way. It's just weird though when I hear the interviews with him. I'm like, oh, he's not that bad.
Sure.
And it's like it tears me a little bit, but I still just can't root for him.
Yeah.
So we went on to got Trent versus Phoenix.
Yeah.
Where Phoenix wins. I mean, there's not much here. Pentagon showed up briefly.
I think Trent should just get away from best friends and just be his own wrestler because I can't stand the other guy.
What's his name? Chuck Taylor? Chucky T?
Yeah, as a tag, I mean, they're both good wrestlers.
Yeah.
But as a tag team, I just can't get into them. Because they don't match.
Right.
My tag teams have to match. There's something about
that is a fair criticism, for sure.
Yeah.
So Phoenix wins that one, which I was almost surprised. I thought they were just pushing Trent real hard for a little bit.
Yeah.
To up the credibility of them. Who knows? But,
sure.
So we go to the Cody promo, where this is what I wrote down for it is Cody throws a bunch of stuff in the ring and leaves in sock feet. Because that's essentially what happened.
Yeah.
Because he wants to fight MJF.
Yeah.
And then, he kind of talks about the Butcher Blade Bunny, all that. And apparently he has been teamed up with QT Marshall.
Yes.
Apple eating guy.
Yes.
Carlito would like his apple back.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you have any thoughts on that one? I mean,
other than Cody almost kind of buries him on Twitter because he's like, I'll probably never tag him because
he doesn't want him to get hurt.
Yeah, that's what he says. He's like, he's a good guy and all, but this is a little bit out of his league. Basically, is what he said.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they've done stuff on him before where they're saying like, he had some injuries and he was out for so long. Mm-hmm. So I could see it where like he wants to protect the guy because. Sure. He's only had I've only seen him have the one match in AEW.
I've only seen him have one match, and then Jericho beat him up.
Right. So it depends on how they want to, delve into that. We got another Dark Order thing. Hashtag join Dark Order. We're trying to join the Dark Order, but we haven't heard back yet.
Well, I think the reason for that is because I've sent out a bunch of stuff to AEW wrestlers by tagging them and stuff like that. I think unless they actually listen to our podcast, they might be a little bit weary about promoting us because they don't know who we are. Yeah, so
we are some kind of neo right wing.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think that's why they don't do it. So
we're like, is that the Authors of Pain? Maybe that's working. Maybe we need another name just to avoid that concern.
I mean, I kind of feel sorry for the guy. He just wants friends.
Yeah,
and the
wasn't good enough for him.
The putty monsters give him jazz fingers.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, I love that. I want them to put the spark thing in the chest, like the Power Rangers. It'd be interesting though that after getting beat up, if he like toughened up, and then he joined them, and that guy got like a storyline of some kind out of it.
Sure.
Probably nothing will come. He was probably built up as a sympathetic character to make you not like him.
Yeah.
Kind of doesn't have that effect, though. You're like, oh, these guys are terrible.
Yeah.
All right. Like, they're bad guys, but I want them to be bad guys. So we went from that. I might have missed something somewhere in between here because I was doing some other stuff, but Nyla Rose just wrecked the librarian.
I've actually enjoyed Nyla because I enjoyed her AEW Dark
the commentary.
I thought she was really good at that.
There was some really funny stuff.
Yeah.
Out of all that, my favorite was with Luchasaurus where she called him a dumb dinosaur.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting it, and I was like, that's hilarious to me. I don't know.
And then she looked like a beast, which is what they was going for. So.
Well, and that's what the librarians are there for. Is they're basically enhancement at this point.
Apparently, yes.
But over time, like they're good. So they're going to grow on you more, and they can give them something more serious down the road.
I hope so. Yeah.
I think. I mean, I don't know. And then we got Nyla smashing the ref in between with the Britt Baker challenge.
Yeah, and I hashtagged us on that.
I saw that. And I thought that was pretty funny. Like overall, that they just embraced that whole thing.
Sure.
We got the Jericho, the lexicon of Le Champion.
Yes.
And he named Moxley more times than he named Armbar on the list of 1,004.
Yeah.
But we got the jungle. Well, the Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
Like confrontation with them. Mm-hmm. And I guess we're getting Jungle Boy versus Jericho before too long here. So I think that'll be an interesting match.
Yeah, I wonder if eventually he'll just become Jack Perry.
I could see it.
It looks like they're slowly just trying to get away from the Jungle Boy because I don't think he hates the Jungle Boy character, but I don't think he.
Well, I think it was from the interviews I've heard. It sounded like he was doing Jungle Boy. He wasn't wanting to be Jack Perry or anything because he didn't want to get anywhere on his dad's name.
Sure,
but I think at this point he's pretty well proved himself.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he got signed with AEW because he's some dude's son. I think it was because he's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
Like he had an interesting character. Him being paired up with Luchasaurus is guaranteed at least a little bit of money and something out of it.
Yeah.
So, and they're both good.
So yeah, that should be a good match.
But yeah, so I could see if there's been debate. I haven't seen the final thing, whether it was a title match or not. I think it's non-title, but
no,
it's been confirmed.
Okay. But according to the whole spiel that he said AEW is making him defend it.
Right. There's back and forth. So either way, if I don't expect Jericho to lose this match, but I expect Jungle Boy to look really good as a result.
Yeah.
And again, I'm still in that period where when people put up hard fights, I don't consider it a waste yet because I haven't seen it totally squandered. Sure. Like I haven't seen Darby Allin get beat by the librarian after standing toe-to-toe with everybody.
Yeah.
Like they haven't totally ruined anybody yet.
Sure.
So we'll see. That could obviously change. What do we got? There was the Statlander versus Sheeta match, which I thought was pretty good. The alien gimmick is kind of weird to me.
Yeah. That's all I can say.
Have you seen any like the indie stuff where she uses the Force to run people into each other?
No.
It's pretty funny. I don't think they'll be able to do that. I mean, they can try it. I mean, we'll see. Or if it's
I will hate it.
I was thinking, like, for the people who know, about like her ability to use the Force. If she were to start to do it, and the person starts to kind of react, but then the ref starts like counting, like the Force is an illegal object in AEW for some reason.
Yeah.
Like just something like one time, like one little nod to it. And I think that would be, that'd be all right.
Sure.
But yeah, so after that we get the Nightmare Collective with Brandy, Kong, and now the new person.
I thought I knew what they were going for. Now I'm just baffled again with I don't know what they are. Again.
I don't know. I do like where you're getting Cody tweets where he's like, "So you guys are taking people's hair?" Like he had, like they don't talk about wrestling at home or something.
Well, and then Cody's like, "Well, I hope you at least signed her." I thought that was funny. That was funny.
Apparently,
I guess she is like an indie wrestler for that area. I guess
I saw something about it this morning, but I didn't have time to do too much research to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, we'll find out more in the time to come, but we'll see what's going on there. So we got Christopher Daniels against Pentagon, and then I typed out Cero Miedo about 5 million times here because that dude says that a lot.
Pentagon likes it.
We get it. But I understand some of it is to make the opponent mad.
Yeah.
And get them, like, because I've seen it countless times already where, like, they get mad at him and they mock him and it gives them an opening. Yeah. So if that's the intent, excellent execution. So but even I'm like, oh my goodness.
So if you're, like, timing this match, do you be like, okay, we got to put it like 2 extra minutes here because he likes to say that.
I got to pull the glove off. I had to do that. Yeah. Like, I mean, the crowd, like everybody. If I was in attendance, I would be going along with it and having a good time.
I mean,
but on TV, like when I watch it at home, I'm just like, dude, this guy is like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I mean, people love it. I'm sure that he's made more money off that phrase than I have in my whole life.
Sure.
So we got Mox versus Janela at that point.
Yeah.
I have here that Janela's ugly tights is one of the most hideous. I believe that's the Pantera font, maybe.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell exactly. I did recognize it as a band font for the Janela, but I just saw like a still shot at some like early on. I like looked up and was like, those tights are ugly.
Sure.
Apparently, I was fixated on tights during this watching for some reason.
Sure.
I was like, man, those are like Sandman bad.
Yeah.
For like Zubaz, basically. But, I mean, that was basically just a fight between the two of them, really. Just like, I'm going to hit you real hard, and then you hit me real hard with something.
The only thing I wish that we could have had they could have cut the Nightmare Collective thing a little bit shorter. Mm-hmm. So we could have had the Moxley fight a little bit longer. It looked like the Moxley fight was a little rushed.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Hard to say. But, I mean, Moxley went. I mean, they're clearly building him to go after Jericho, I would have to assume at this point.
I don't know how Moxley doesn't kill somebody with his...
paradigm shift?
First, like, off the turnbuckle.
The turnbuckle one was definitely risky.
Yeah.
This one, like, because Janela was out to the side, so it wasn't like a spiking motion. It was more like, So I think that's the normal way to do it.
Sure.
But, yeah, it definitely... There is room for error there that could be real nasty for somebody. One thing I caught, so like at the end, Jericho comes out with all of the inner circle, where they actually caught him, like Moxley was looking and counted all 5 of them, and they actually even mentioned it on the commentary that he knows all of them are up there, so he wasn't checking behind him anymore. Like, real subtle thing, but I was like, I like that they actually happened to catch him doing it on camera. Yeah. And I think it was Excalibur called out. He's like, he's counting, he's made sure that where they're all at.
I didn't catch that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because you would do that because...
well, you would hope that, or you're going to have to keep looking around to see if you're going to get jumped. So I thought that was
overall,
good.
did you like Dynamite this year?
Yeah. This week? I mean, I've been, like, last week people seemed to really not like it. The previous week, not...
I thought it was all right. Well, the Thanksgiving week?
Yeah.
I thought it was all right.
I thought it was good. I mean, I was entertained by it. So, again, I'm not... They still have a lot of room with me to prove my faith or let me down before I'm going to be like as harsh as I would be for like WWE. I can't just watch to enjoy now because I've been let down so many times that it's hard for me to get invested in anything. Yeah, because I don't know that it's going to have a satisfactory, like the story's not going to be satisfactory to me. Yeah, in a lot of cases. But so.
I watched a little NXT.
Okay.
What's his name? Keith Lee.
Yeah.
His Spirit Bomb is pretty good.
we were watching like a highlight of that thing.
Yeah.
And I don't like sit out power bombs, but his is very good. But I'd rather just see him like drive dudes into the ground, like standing.
And I haven't watched enough of NXT to know his time in NXT, so I don't know. But it looks like because he started like powering up like Goku does.
Yeah, like where you call for energy,
and then like Adam Cole kicked him or something, so it stopped his whatever.
Right.
So I wonder if he actually does that, which would be even better.
That's when he actually puts him through the ring.
Yes,
that'd be awesome. Actually, if he gets like the entire audience doing the same, like basically, like, I need everyone from Earth and Namek to give me their energy. Yes. I didn't catch it. Like I haven't watched any NXT since it went live.
Yeah,
because I don't flip back and forth. I just watch Dynamite. I've always liked NXT, but I also got disappointed they call people up to the main roster, and then I would be let down more often than not. So it's just that's my mentality for it. There's still good stuff like SmackDown, for example. I thought the Miz and Bray stuff was pretty good because Miz did a pretty good job of taking it seriously, basically, where Bray's messing with his mind with the family and stuff. Sure. But I guess he's going to fight Bray and not the Fiend in a TLC. So that should be interesting.
Well, and I don't know if this is true because this is from the dirt sheet or whatever.
Yeah.
But I heard that McMahon is not like actually promoting matches for TLC until the actual week of, because he says that's when people buy it.
Yeah, I've heard something about that too.
Because when I go see a movie, I don't go to the website. I just go to the movie theater and
just buy a ticket for what's there.
Just buy a ticket. I mean, because that's what everyone does, right?
I think they're trying to drive network subscriptions. Like network subscriptions are probably worth more than attendance. Sure. Truthfully, I don't know. But in like WWE's at that point where it's an event, where like, oh, it's going to be a pay-per-view, let's go to it. Not, oh, I wonder who's on the pay-per-view. Like it's not like you're. Like they're at a different level of entertainment. Where it's like, oh, the circus is in town. Like, oh, WWE, like, not in a negative way, but like, But let me see here. So apparently, people did not care for the Roman Reigns dog food.
From the few things I saw about Twitter, they were just bashing it.
I loved it.
Yeah,
because Baron Corbin totally did what he said he was going to do.
Sure.
The only thing that I am sad is that at some point someone wasn't like, "You look hungry, big dog," and cram some in his mouth. Because you could have put like human food, dog food. We could eat dog food. It is okay. Yeah. But you could have put like mashed up human food in one of those cans and used that one to shove it in Roman's mouth. Yeah. And I think that would have been. That's what it was missing to me.
Well, like I told you, like one of the Twitter comments was like, "Man, WWE could have sprung for some better dog food. You got the cheapest stuff you could find."
Well, but to be fair, if you're Baron Corbin and you're wanting to humiliate Reigns, like play the role of Baron Corbin. I'm going to be Dolph Ziggler for a minute. Hey, Baron, so we're going to do this thing where we got him handcuffed. You want me to get the blue diamond? Or do you want me to get the store brand?
You get the cheapest stuff you can get. Yeah.
Roman's not good enough for Blue Diamond. Something like that is what I like.
That's true. Yeah.
If they were to release, like, if they did like the Sammy Guerrero blog thing, and they had that thing going on, that'd be fantastic.
Sure.
But I thought the whole thing was fine.
Yeah,
it went on a little bit long with Dolph Ziggler screaming, "You look hungry, big dog," 40 times.
Well, I think they got the point across. It made Roman look good because he's the baby face.
Well, the crowd, they probably just hated it, but they were booing.
Sure.
So that was the result you were trying to get.
But the heels, were doing their heelish thing.
And Roman has a reason to whoop somebody, basically.
Sure.
So I understand why people don't like it. But again, I thought the Big Boss Man thing was one of the best things ever. So that's that weird line, but it made sense to me. It's like, that is a way to humiliate him. You're making him into the big dog and feeding him.
So before we go on to the other wrestling for NWA Power and anything, so the whole Bray Wyatt character, the Fiend and everything, I think it'd be neat, and I don't know if WWE will do it, like go back, why wouldn't you have like Finn Balor be the demon and fight the Fiend, or is that too soon?
I think that's probably long term.
Yeah,
because I think that's why Finn Balor is back in NXT. Is because otherwise, if Finn Balor's around and he's on the same show as Bray, the Demon would have to show up, I would think, to fight the Fiend.
Okay. So you basically...
I think that's pushed back for an indefinite amount of time would be my assumption.
So you think that will happen eventually?
If they don't ruin... Because at the moment, the Demon still exists and is still super OP.
Yeah. The
Fiend has to survive long enough to not be ruined and become a dancing gimmick.
You see Bray Wyatt out there.
Bray, it'll be the Fiend. Because Bray can dance. That's okay. Because he's like super evil Mr. Rogers weirdo guy. Sure, yeah. But the Fiend has been presented pretty seriously.
Sure, yeah.
But once you fall out of favor, if you were a monster bad guy at some point, you dance. Kali, Rusev, like they've all had moments of dancing. Like the fall from grace is not pretty.
I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if McMahon's like, oh yeah, big men dancing. That's what I want to see.
There's a history of people becoming dancing gimmicks. It's very strange.
Did you see the Fiend's belt? How much that thing costs if you wanted to buy that thing?
It is a lot.
Like $6,000.
Yes, people have bought it.
$6,000 for that ugly thing.
If I was a millionaire, I don't think I don't think it's a good looking belt. I would buy all the other belts. Like I would have the IC belt, the Winged Eagle belt. That'd probably be the end of the belts that I would buy because those are the ones I think
North American title from NWA.
That's a good. I hate that belt. I would love to hear from anyone who thinks that is a good looking belt.
Yeah,
like seriously, not like pretending to like it, but genuinely are like, I think it's really different, and I think that's good. Because I will agree, it is really different.
Yes,
but it is not really good.
No.
I can appreciate what they're going for, but they should have picked a rounder country as opposed to the United States to give a more traditional feel, or a square like.
Nebraska,
I don't know. Like the Nebraska title, where it's just a nice square.
The Nebraska title is great.
If we ever start a wrestling federation, our secondary title is going to be the Nebraska State Championship.
Yes.
It's just going to be a big square.
It's like, what? Yeah, that's right. We love our Nebraska. Yeah.
So you had sent me a message about NWA's theme.
Oh, it's great.
Which is by Dokken. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but Into the Fire.
Yeah.
And it is a good theme.
Yes.
But it's a legitimate song before it was an intro song. So that does kind of help.
Sure, yeah.
It's got a good feel to it. So the biggest thing I caught out of the show was when the Rock and Roll Express are, I believe it is 9-time NWA Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
I was surprised, like for as old as they are, like it wasn't a good match, but like after the match they had like that brief promo with them where he was like, we didn't beat them, we just had to outsmart them. Which is basically saying that, it's not like they were like, I knew we could beat them, we still had one in us. Like they're just saying they basically outsmarted them and used their wily veteran skills to win the match.
So what'd you think about Sandal's flesh-colored tights? Jim Cornette was cracking me up because it's exactly what I would say.
I was sitting there and I was like, I saw it, I was like, he had to do that on purpose for people to just not like it, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't like it. That might have been what set my whole thing off for the week.
Okay.
Was seeing the tights on Sandow.
And
as a result of that, I was hyper aware of clothing for the rest of the wrestling week.
Sure.
And that's why I noticed like Sammy's trunks and Janela's. But that was ridiculous. The question mark is a lot of fun.
Sure.
Because it's that throwback thing that does not belong.
Yes.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's treating it seriously.
So
that's fine.
All I can say is their world champion is way better than the show that he's on. That's all I can say.
Right, but I mean, he's definitely brought some prestige to that.
Sure, I mean, I hope they're paying him a lot because he deserves every penny.
Yeah,
because he's good. He's good.
He his presentation is excellent. Yeah. But so yeah, that was like the first time that I paid a ton of attention to Power, other than like watching clips of it. But I mean, I like the show because it's so different, though.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you have nothing to watch,
it's worth.
I mean, so my choices was watching a full thing of NXT or watching NWA Power, and I chose NWA.
Yeah. So I just like something different at this point. I think some of it, like there's the hipstery vibe of like, oh, it's not WWE related, so I'm gonna watch it. Like is kind of how it feels. I'm aware that I'm doing it, but
I watched it. I'm good.
There will be a time where WWE will get good again for a while, or they'll have like that storyline that's really interesting to me.
Yeah,
and it'll draw me back in. It's happened with like a few different things, like the Shield was one of those things, and all that stuff. So
I did watch before we go off into our next little topic. I did watch the Beaver Boys versus the Butcher and the Blade.
And how is that? Like just trying to find out about Butcher and Blade?
Yeah, it just popped up.
Yeah.
So the Beaver Boys is that Long John Silver guy, or whatever his name is. I don't know his name. John Silver, I think his name.
I'm not familiar with them, but
if you know about the AEW guys, the Ace Game.
Oh yeah, those guys.
Yeah. So they fought. It was all right. I don't know if was there early on in their wrestling careers, but it was, I don't know, it was kind of sloppy a little bit.
We'll see what they do coming up here, but all right.
Yeah.
So you ready to move to games?
Yeah, I think we talked a lot about it.
There was a lot of stuff this week that was going on. So so I've played almost no games this week. Right. I played 2 phone games, Grindstone, which is Apple Arcade. It's like one of those, where you have like the puzzle grid. And you can like match stuff together, like chain it together. So you chain it together, the guy runs and kills all the little dudes for it. And basically you can get gear and stuff that gives you like special abilities for the map. Okay. So like you can use something to move like where you're set. Like obviously you got to start from where you're standing.
Okay.
So again, think of like the grid puzzle board.
Yeah.
You got to chain stuff together, but there's one thing that'll let you move to a different point. If some of the enemies, like they flare up. And if you end in a spot next to them, you'll take damage.
Gotcha.
So you got like a shield, you got different types of armors that do different things.
Okay.
And I've played a lot of that game, and I've beaten it, but I haven't 100%ed every level. Okay. I'm down to like 2 levels left to 100%. Yeah. And it was good. It's one of those things that you can get free with the Apple Arcade, which I'm a fan of the phone games.
Yeah.
I played a lot of Brawl Stars, which is Supercell's. Like we actually did a show kind of about that forever ago. Like one of the early times where we did like just a video game type show. Mm-hmm. And I'm still playing that game here and there.
It's a fun game.
Yeah, I'm not like super competitive with it, but I like the MOBA style games. Mm-hmm. And this one, like the matches are short. The controls work really well on the phone because they're slowed down just a little bit.
Yeah.
So I play, a few rounds of that. I have played a little bit more of Raft. I built an enormous front row of nets to catch materials.
Yeah.
And then I got seasick again.
Yeah.
So I stopped. And that was the last I did. But it's like, compared to the rest of my Raft, it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But as you know from our time playing Conan, once I decide to do something, there's like a bizarre obsessiveness to me.
Sure.
That it has to be more than enough for some reason.
So I doubt... I think I told you to do it, and I think you did it.
Yes.
But Conan, they released the horses.
Yeah, Conan Exiles, specifically.
Conan, yes. Released the horses, and so I just went to the single player and went to the admin panel.
Messed around with it.
And so I was on top of the big mountains.
Yeah.
I was running the horse off. I was just going as fast as I can. At first, I was actually legitimately trying to like go on the ground and try to run and everything.
Yeah.
And then I just got bored, so then I got on top of a mountain. And I was running really far. That horse flies pretty good.
I mean, fair enough, I guess. So, I would like to take a moment, because I started playing on like just a PvE server, because there's a chance that I won't log in for an hour and then I'll lose all my stuff. But, so I downloaded the game, and it took forever to download, because it's up to like 50 gigs. It is insane. Yeah. So did that over the course of like 2 days here and there. I forgot to hit it before I went to work.
Yeah,
would have been that would have been the end of it. But I just didn't think to hit the button. and loaded in. I went into the admin panel on like a single player game like you were telling me about. I finally figured out how to use the admin panel again. I forgot so much about there's something from the menu. And while I'm thinking about it, the Conan Exiles is one of the survival games, similar to Ark, that style game where resources build stuff.
Yeah.
So I pull up the admin panel, I get the horse, and I'm like, oh, the horses look kind of cool. I walk up to the horse, and it kills me. Like, because I didn't, like, you can pick, like, invincibility or God mode or whatever, or pin your health or whatever. I didn't think to do that because I was more interested in, like, riding this horse around.
Yeah.
But I put the horse down, I walked up to it, and it, like, reared up, and I was like, oh, I got to tame it or something.
Yeah.
And then it just basically hit me in the face, and it, like, one-shot. It doesn't seem like it should one-shot me, but I was just dead.
So there's an option that it converts like your animals or like thralls or whatever into your property or whatever. So you basically just put a wild horse down.
Oh, well, I don't know how it works. Well, I saw where you can take the foal and you can put it into one of the pins, and I was like, I don't want to spawn all that stuff. I just want a horse.
Sure.
So I was just trying to see what would happen. It said test horse, so I figured test horse would be the test mount one, like it would just spawn ready to go.
Yeah.
But that apparently is not the case.
There's an option where you click it and it makes it your personal. So you're just spawning things.
So I basically spawned like
I'm trying to ride that wild horse.
Like I might as well have just spawned like one of the giant monsters and walked up to it.
Trying to ride the dragon around.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that's on me.
Yeah.
But I did just start like a normal character.
Yeah.
And probably the familiarity with it, even though I haven't played in quite a while, I really like their overall mechanics as far as gathering.
Sure.
All that stuff. Like it feels natural to me. Like trying to play 7 Days to Die.
Yeah.
I didn't care for their control setup very much. It's real similar, but it just, I don't know, like it just didn't work for me the same.
I would say because I probably played riding on the horse for maybe about 15-20 minutes. Uh-huh. It's because the map wasn't designed for it.
Yeah,
I think it doesn't work that well. I haven't played around long enough to say, but from my experience of 15-20 minutes of playing it,
just riding
it just didn't feel right because you're running into rocks, running into trees.
There's all this stuff, all the terrain.
Yeah.
Well, and you got to have all that terrain because you got to mine stuff, things like that.
Yeah.
Now there were times where we were going from basically Pride Rock there from the Lion King, the one zone, to the other end of the world.
Yes.
There are definitely some straight slots there that a horse would have made things a lot quicker.
Yeah.
But I could see where the problem would be with that.
Yeah.
But,
like the jungle part, I can imagine that being just horrendous.
Did they put anything good in the jungle area yet?
I don't know. Big monkeys, I guess.
The jungle area was the most pointless thing ever.
Yeah, I think there's a dungeon in there now.
Well, there was the witch dungeon.
Yeah.
That actually almost had a mechanic that if you get hit by, you were a bad player.
Yeah.
Like, you could get hit by it once.
Yes.
Because it's like, oh, that's what it's doing. And then you should never get hit by it again.
Yeah.
But
I think, now, like I said, we'll have to play it.
Yeah.
But I think the jungle actually has, like special thralls that roam in the jungle, or I don't know.
Dudes in safari hats.
Dudes in safari hats, yeah.
Like the guy from Jungle Hunt.
Yes.
From Atari.
Yes.
Yes, I don't know, but I got it downloaded. I built like a little house, like right by the Starter River, just so that I was housed, and then I'll probably try to play more later today, depending on what I have going on.
And you realize the server has destroyed everything.
That is the potential. I'm on like 1504 for the server.
Yeah,
and I swear that's one of the ones that we were on previously that disappeared.
Probably
because it has that's one of the lowest ping ones.
Yeah,
so that's probably like East Coast, but I don't know. But we'll see how it goes. I'm trying to be optimistic, but yeah. So did you play anything else at all this week?
Did some been doing some retail WoW, trying to
take advantage of your flying before they take it away.
Yes. There's a really neat mount that's it's a big wheel, that you so you're. It's his own way I can describe it. It's a big wheel.
Like do you sit inside the wheel?
You sit inside the wheel. Yeah.
There's a really old computer game.
Yeah.
I think it was like BC or something, where you were a dude riding on a wheel, but it was like a stone wheel with a stick through the middle.
Okay.
And you were just standing on it, and you were like going kind of downhill and had to jump over stuff.
Yeah.
So at first, when you said it's a wheel, I was thinking that.
But yeah,
which would be fantastic.
I'll have to show you later.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the only thing I did.
Okay, so yeah, neither one of us have done anything with video
not
games
really. Not
so
really.
I don't feel nearly as bad that the wrestling went long. Because all right, so now we're going to move into the Mandalorian. So
movies, TVs, and so,
yeah. Mandalorian specifically though, because I haven't watched anything else on TV.
Oh, I watch all kinds of stuff. Anyway.
So we'll talk before we get to Mandalorian. Then, did you watch anything of that stuck out to you?
I did watch a biography of Garth Brooks. And so I don't know
Entertainer of the Year, Garth Brooks.
Yes, I don't know how big of a fan of Garth Brooks you are.
A little bit.
You remember when he did a thing called Chris Gaines?
Yeah, he was on Saturday Night Live, and it was hilarious.
Well, okay, so I always thought like he was having a nervous breakdown or something when he did that because I didn't understand
what was going
why
on.
He went through the Chris Gaines when Garth Brooks is a much better at selling.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing about that was apparently is he was doing a movie, and I think it was like in Australia. But anyway, it was about a singer and everything. Well, I guess the people in the movie doing it or whatever, and his agent said, "Hey, it'd be neat if you released a CD titled Chris Gaines, and you bleed the character that you're going to be in the movie, and just
do that style,
so the people will know about the movie and everything, and the songs and everything before the actual movie came out." And Garth Brooks was like, "Yeah, it made sense." He's like, "Hey, I get a marketing campaign or whatever." So he said, "So I did it." They canceled the movie.
I did not know that part of the story.
So he's like, "I'm Chris Gaines." He's like, "I went with it." Yeah. He's like, but everyone's like, "What?" So he's like, "I was portraying, I guess, in the interviews and everything, this character Chris Gaines that was going to be in this movie that they canceled."
Oh, that's awesome. That makes it even better. I didn't know that.
Sure, yeah.
I just thought he wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
And was just entertaining him. He seemed like the kind of guy that has a sense of humor.
Yeah, sure.
So I was like, he's just
having fun. So I thought, like, okay, is he watching too much wrestling and he's just getting a wrestling character?
Well, because he showed up on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
With that, one of the guys was like, I think they were talking to him as Garth Brooks, and he's like, "You're a real man. You're not like that Chris Gaines." And like whichever it was, they were totally trashing the other persona to him. And then, like, watching him, like, he's like, "Oh, yeah, I know. I'm just messing with it. It's fantastic." Something like that. So I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, so
I didn't know that it was for a movie that got canceled.
It was for a movie that got canceled.
It'd be even better to find out that it was going to originally be produced by, like, someone he bullied when he was younger, and this was their payback to make him look schizophrenic.
Sure. He's like, so I did all that. And,
I just know that he won, like, Entertainer of the Year many times.
Yeah.
And, like, supposedly his live shows were very good.
Yeah.
I've heard they rival the Insane Clown Posse. If you like being covered in Faygo.
What a comparison. Garth Brooks and
his stage show reigned for the Thunder Rolls and Lightning Strikes or whatever. Imagine if he toured with the ICP.
It'd be great.
But it rained Faygo instead, and they came out and helped him sing that part. Just everybody would be sticky.
That would be something. I don't know if it'd be good, but it'd be something.
I would pay a great deal of money. If I'm a billionaire, oh yeah, that's happening. I'm still not going to have that fiend.
Garth Brooks is
a mashup.
ICP. Let's do it.
Violent J, Shaggy 2 Dope. I don't know what we would call Garth Brooks. Like he'd have to get a clown name and some clown paint on, but they're all in like flannels.
But he would look like a rodeo clown. That's what he would look like.
That's what they call him. He could be like rodeo cowboy, and then he's got rodeo.
Good God!
We've just had the greatest. The show's over. We're just
Garth Brooks. If you're listening, do that, buddy.
We're gonna tag Garth Brooks and ICP, and I'm not even gonna. The tweet's not even gonna talk about what the show is. Just a suggestion that they do a mashup and we get rodeo cowboy Garth Brooks
Make this happen.
For thunder rolls, lightning strikes.
Yes.
Rains Fago. If that's not money, you would...
Thunder rolls right into Great Malenko. I mean,
there you go. I mean, I'm sure there's like something that talks about cowboys that they did.
Oh,
there's no way they didn't.
Sure.
I mean, they talk about things that aren't possible with board games like Monopoly and Connect 4.
Sure.
So,
sure.
Showing far too much ICP knowledge, but there's a time in my life where I like them.
Sure, sure.
So
I guess
I just can't get the idea of cowboy rodeo Garth Brooks with, oh man. Could you just imagine someone's like, I can't believe they're still talking about this garbage. Could you imagine the crowd, like at a Garth Brooks show?
So they bring out a rodeo barrel and he just sings it from the rodeo barrel.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, you're not expecting it. They put the rodeo barrel there, he disappears. So when he runs backstage, they do the makeup real fast on him. Yeah. He comes up through the floor like Cody or whatever into the barrel. Arms go out the sides of the barrel with the suspenders, and then ICP walk out from either side, and the crowd is just
stunned,
complete, like what is total dead silence. Like no reaction. Like it would just be dead silent because nobody knows what's going on.
Sure.
And then they start playing. And I would just imagine the crowd still being dead silent. But it would be the great, like, there'd be people like us who are like, yes, my dream came true.
All right, so anyway, let's talk about The Mandalorian.
All right, so episode 4 of this did not have anything as good as what we just came up with. But, So I kept seeing like some thumbnails and stuff for this episode.
Yeah.
And then it was him and the chick where they're like holding the guns and like got a hold of each other.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, are they going to introduce a love story to this already? And that did not happen.
Yes.
So, because I don't know. I don't like love stories in my shows a lot of times.
Yeah, I guess the actress that's in this episode, I guess she was she was Ronda Rousey before Ronda Rousey. She was the first.
Okay, I wasn't familiar with.
Yeah, so I guess she was like the first actual UFC fighter.
Okay.
I don't know that much about her either.
Right. But yeah, so she's like a legitimate fighter though.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I can never tell like if the Mandalorian and like the Mandalorian, not like one of the others, but is supposed to be like super awesome or if he's just like average because he's still kind of newer to it.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to tell like is he feared or is just the Mandalorian reputation like some of why people treat him the way they are? Like is their training just like he might not be the best Mandalorian, but compared to anyone else, he's just miles above that. Like,
gotcha.
Like they're upper echelon.
And I don't think they've actually explored that yet. Like,
right. I feel like they are because like everyone's like, oh, Mandalorian, that's what you guys do.
Sure.
Like that's what they're bred for, kind of like Spartans or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so they got a good way of keeping Baby Yoda out of the way.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a concern because it was like Baby Yoda's awesome. Like there's no denying that.
Yeah.
But it's like any show or movie that has the little kid character. If they start causing problems, I start disliking them.
Sure.
That has not been the case so far. Like it's been pretty normal stuff.
Yeah.
So that's totally fine. But it's just my fear. But like with this one, like he was playing with the little kids basically.
Yeah, so, it was like episode 4 was very much like I feel like I was watching Magnificent Seven.
Yeah,
it was very much like that.
So in this episode, so basically, I assume if you're listening to this, you're not looking at play-by-play from us for the entire episode. So we're just going to talk about kind of what stuck out to us. But it gets to the planet, and like the dudes are coming and raiding the village basically constantly is my assumption there. So they get the Mandalorian, and then the chick that he fought with. He gets her money to basically help out. Yeah. And it turns out, like, they're kind of investigating, like, what the situation is, and they see this giant footprint. Yeah. At first I was like, oh, is it going to be a Rancor? Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I don't know where Rancors inhabit. I'm not that familiar on Rancor lore. Sure. But I was just hoping for a big monster, because those guys were kind of, like, savage-looking. Sure. Rancor would have made sense to me. Turns out it's an ATST. Yes. I was like, oh, ATST. And I'm watching this with my wife, and she's like, a what? I was like, ATST? Like the smaller thing, like not the AT-AT, but the smaller one from like Hoth and the other stuff. She's like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. I have no idea what you're talking about. And I was like, so I pulled up a picture of it, but I was like, because she's watched Star Wars, but she doesn't really care for the little nuanced stuff. I'm not a super fan. Yeah. There's plenty of things you can tell me that I'm not going to know what you're talking about.
Sure.
But the general stuff, I'm fairly like X-wing, A-wing. Like I know all the types of a lot of the vehicles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Watching a show in the Star Wars universe with someone who's not familiar with that, it's really hard to know how to talk.
Sure.
Because you're like, well, I gotta describe it instead of using the name.
Yeah.
I've never had to describe this thing in my life.
Yeah.
Because everyone's always known that I've been around.
Sure.
So, but yeah, so I thought that was a nice touch. I like that they gave it the red eyes, like it was a savage beast instead.
Like it was the evil version. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like some kind of evil monster as opposed to the thing. But I mean, it was a neat portrayal of it. Yeah. But so bad, but like they trained the village to fight. Mm-hmm. The one chick's a little overzealous with the blaster gun.
Sure. Which was weird. I'm assuming she's gonna have more of a storyline because she was very, very good at firing.
Yeah, like they didn't, unless I missed it.
Well, because the only thing the Mandalorian just looked at her like.
Yeah, like okay. Well, yeah, she was the only one who said she knew how to fight.
Yeah.
Or how to use a gun, basically.
Yeah.
But I thought we were going to get a little bit of a backstory, like, I came from the Empire or the Rebels or something and settled here. Yeah, I thought I was going to get something like that to explain it, but they just kind of left it open-ended.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was intentional, though. Maybe we'll see her or...
I assume.
Like, because, like, the dude, the I've Spoken guy, and then her... Like, that's pretty open-ended where you could see those guys again.
And then
like, somewhere down the way.
Episode 5 has 2 other people that looks like it's going to join the group, too. But, yeah.
Well, yeah. We'll hold off on that, though, because that way, if we're spoilers for people who haven't seen it yet. Yeah. But, yeah, so they triumphed over the evil dinosaur, and they were going to leave Baby Yoda on the planet.
Yep.
And I was like, are they still... Like, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, are they still looking for him? It seems like they wouldn't have just let him get away.
Uh-huh.
Like... That's strange. And then the sniper shows up.
Mm-hmm.
That was, at first I thought it was like maybe another Mandalorian, but I didn't think so with the armor because they had it pinned on him waiting for him to take the helmet off.
Yeah.
And then when he didn't, they took it away. So I was like, well, maybe they're not that. And then it went for Yoda. Mm-hmm. Baby Yoda, sorry. Or the child.
The child.
Yeah. I think I wrote it down as Yodi on this thing.
Yodi.
Yeah, okay. Someone's going to... He needs a better name than just being Baby Yoda or the child.
Sure.
Because Baby Yoda is going to win out over the child every time. Right. I'd like him to just get a name that's easy to pronounce, not like Super Star Wars weird.
Sure.
But yeah, so the female character takes out the sniper before he can get the shot off, but they realize, he is still being tracked. And I was like, well, that answers that question that I was wondering about. Because it would have made sense to leave him there.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're still tracking him, then obviously that's the worst place for him because there's no chance they're going to defend.
Yeah.
So.
And then so at the end, I guess the shock trooper, she, I guess, I didn't understand does she stay on the planet? Does she leave the planet? I don't know.
I think she was staying with them.
Okay.
Most likely because I think they were talking about that kind of in the beginning.
Yeah.
Was where she could be like basically housed there or something.
Okay.
But yeah, I could have missed some of that. I was more wondering. I was like, wouldn't they still be tracking that thing? Like, it seems like that'd be a big deal that they wouldn't give up on so easily, especially after what the Mandalorian pulled.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that was basically the end of that episode. And then we got some more cool paintings.
Yeah, yeah.
So
then episode 5 opens up with.
Well.
I'm just saying it right now.
So if you don't want the spoiler, this is what we're going to be ending the show with. So now would be a time to stop to avoid anything from episode 5.
Yes.
So here we go.
Yeah.
So it is the return.
Yeah.
Well, as you were going to say, it starts out with the space battle.
Well, and another bounty hunter tracking him down, I guess.
Right. So that's not going to go away until he's killed every bounty hunter, apparently.
Apparently, yes.
But, yeah, so he outmaneuvers the other pilot, says a cheesy, that's my line to him. And then...
Which is true.
We did have Baby Yoda playing... with all the controls and stuff.
Yeah.
Where he was like, don't do that. And then it just looked at him and...
Yes.
Which was like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But then, so they're in the battle. the outsmarts the guy. They show a horrifying look of the guy screaming as he evaporates into the void of space.
Yeah.
And then they end up, he's taking damage, and we get to go to a planet I didn't think I would see on this show at all.
Yeah.
And they are returning to Mos Eisley specifically, which I was excited about. Yep. Which again, like, oh, Mos Eisley, where's that? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
It's, like the cantina, like where Luke was from the first one.
Yeah.
She's like, wait, Luke wasn't in the first one. It's like, no, the real first one, not the first three. I'm not hardly ever going to talk about those. I was like, if I say the first one, there's zero chance I'm talking about Phantom Menace.
Sure.
Which, to be fair, if you didn't know, like, man, was I let down when those came out.
It's just not,
we're not going to talk about that, but I'm not one of the people who are a fan of the first three. Like, the real, like, what they call episode 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Three. I'm more a fan of 3 than most people are, I think. But, but either way.
That's all
I liked the little droids and the mechanic lady.
Okay, yeah.
And, like, that whole thing, because she ends up taking care of the baby, Yoda. And I thought that was a good role. She is super familiar to me.
I couldn't think of I've seen her.
I don't know what she's in.
I'm too lazy to look it up.
Yeah, same thing. But, like, she did her role really well.
Yeah.
Like, that made sense. That kept
Baby
Yoda
even
out of the way.
Even the gunslinger, I thought, was familiar. I couldn't think of who I've seen him at either.
It's like Freddie Prinze Jr. with more hair or something.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but yeah, he looked familiar too.
Yeah.
And I am really bad with any kind of like actor or celebrity name.
Sure.
So who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, so she takes care of that. He's trying to find work. He goes to the camp. I'm assuming it's the cantina, but there's no band, and that let me down.
Sure. Maybe they were in between sets.
Might be a nighttime thing. I don't know. I mean, obviously, it wasn't as busy as it was back in the Empire days.
Sure.
But, yeah, or who knows? I mean, there was the little touch, though, of all the Stormtrooper helmets on Pikes.
Yep.
So, I don't know if those were just helmets or if there were heads inside those, but hard to say.
It's hard to say, yes.
But... No, like the whole thing, and like they get the bounty for like the assassin.
And the gunslinger was sitting in the chair or the booth where Han
and Greedo, where Han shot him.
Yeah,
in cold blood.
Shot first. Yes.
Like that whole thing was kind of cool. Yeah. So he teams up with the other bounty hunter guy who's like trying to get into the guild.
Sure.
Who isn't in yet. He's like, oh, yeah, there's no chance that you're going to take this person out.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear that there was no chance he was going to take that the assassin out once they get near.
Yep.
Because if he didn't have the Beskar armor, then he would have been toast.
Yeah, this scene was very westerny.
Yes.
They get on the speeder bikes. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing, like, I saw someone had tweeted, or somewhere I saw it, where they were trying to say it was more samurai than western.
I mean,
or something like that. But someone on the show was actually like, well, we're borrowing from both, really.
Yeah,
they're definitely like
go
western.
With the Ronin thing.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a combination of both, I would say, for sure.
Well, yeah,
it's just they're using guns.
Because that western, like American westerns, took it from that type of anyway. Right. So
yeah, so I mean, they're borrowing from whatever it might be. Like, there's not very many stories you can tell that haven't already been told somewhere else. Just, being honest about it for things. So, kind of like wrestling, you're rehashing storylines most of the time. It's, I don't like you, you don't like me, we're going to fight over it. And then throw in reason A, B, C, all the way to whatever. But yeah, so, I don't know, like the bounty hunter that he's befriended turns on him, basically.
Sure.
Which was absolutely no surprise to me, but I was let down.
See, I thought I could have went either way, to be honest with you. I thought, well, he's kind of stupid to realize maybe he'd be like, oh, I really want to join this group. I could seen that he would have went to the dark side, I guess.
Yeah, I was hoping that he wouldn't. Like, that maybe he would, there'd be something more there. But I mean, it made sense.
Like, the assassin is a very good actress. She was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Was she?
One of the few bright spots on that show.
No, series. I did not watch that show at all.
Sure.
So I don't know, but like, not a lot happened in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, not a lot. Like, there's really not, like, they rode their bikes. The Mandalorian knows Tusken Raider sign language.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny when he was like, well, why don't you tell him yourself? Because they, like, snuck up on him.
Yeah.
Well, I assume they did not sneak up on the Mandalorian. He probably saw him coming because he's aware. But the young kid trying to get into the Bounty Hunters Guild, no idea what was going on around him.
Sure.
So he never gets even close to that lady, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like, I assume he would have got killed by Tusken Raiders.
Yeah, well, I thought it was funny that because she shot him, and he's like, she got me in the Baskin armor or whatever.
Yeah, the Beskar armor
up at this
and
he's like, well, I don't have that. He's like, yep.
He's like, yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really not much more he could say to that other than that, you don't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to give you mine. Like, I'm not allowed.
So, and then they go back and, he holds the baby Yoda hostage.
And the mechanic lady.
Yeah.
And then he uses... So when they're approaching the sniper or the assassin, they're using these, like, flares, basically, to blind the scope.
Yeah.
He has one of those left or something and uses that to blind the kid. Walks beside him, basically, and then just shoots him. Yes. And it's really anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, like, when he was walking down the street to the cantina, I was like, oh, the way they're shooting that, there's going to be, like, a high noon, like, draw. Like, dual like, that's how especially with the title, Gunslinger, that's what I thought it was going to be at the end. And that's not at all what happened, but so like during that time, like the ship got repaired.
Yeah,
he gave the lady a bunch of credits, I assume. That was more than
that he got off the dead body of the kid.
That she didn't see somehow. I thought she was looking like right at him as he pulled that out, but whatever. Doesn't really matter to the story one way or the other. Like,
sure.
He didn't have to give that to her, but he did.
Yeah,
and then he just left. So. Really, like, you could summarize that, be like, oh, there was a fight. Oh, I got to get my plane fixed.
Yeah.
I'm going to help this guy out.
Well, then he went back and got the assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Right. But, I mean, there was...
Well, that's what... But I guess this episode builds up that now he has an assassin with him, maybe.
Oh, did I miss that then? I thought the assassin was dead because she got shot.
Well, okay, he went back to get the body. I assume that she's still alive. Because she's a pretty big actress.
I don't know.
Just for them to off.
Well, now I don't know. Now I'm going to have to look.
Yeah, you just rewatch it now, see?
I got to watch the last couple minutes of that.
Yeah,
because I thought he just, like, went on the ship and then it flew out. Because I was
laughing. Well, it flew out and he went back and...
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, he went back.
Because it went, like... Now, the credits, I was laughing. I don't know if it does it on the normal, but the way I was watching it, it had the credits for other languages.
Okay.
And it is, instead of The Mandalorian, it is El Mandaloriano.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I just thought it was really funny.
Yeah, the Disney Plus thing, I was watching all that. It showed he went back and got her.
Okay, I'll have to rewatch it and see if I missed that.
Yeah.
Because I think we were talking about, like, how anticlimactic the end was.
Yeah.
I mean, I still liked the episode. It was a good story. But it was like, there's really not a lot that happened, like, at all. Like, there's not a lot of any kind of development for the most part. Like, it was just like an episode.
Till the end. That you missed.
I guess so. So we'll have to see what goes on with
that. But overall, you still enjoying the show? I mean,
it's still good. I'm let down. That
hasn't gone the Arrow route, right?
No, that's what I had said. I was like, I hope they just ended after one season because they make the first season with no input from anybody, basically. Like, no one's seen an episode.
Yes.
No one builds their expectations for something.
No.
None of the writers or anything are getting any weird outside information from crazy fans.
Who
are poking holes in things left and right.
Yeah.
So it's untainted. I would almost prefer if they did like 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Like, we're shooting 3 seasons worth of this show.
Sure.
Before we release season 1. So you get a pure version of the show.
Sure.
As opposed to season 1.
Yeah.
We have the off season where everybody gets contaminated. And then we go into season 2.
Our season 2, The Mandalorian is now a bartender.
in Boston. At a restaurant called Yay.
Yeah. It's like, what? Yeah.
Like, so there's another guy, he's going to own the bar, but he's going to lose possession of it and get it back multiple times. And we're going to have a mailman. And we're going to get the guy who played Beast to be a psychiatrist. We're like, this sounds real familiar.
Yes.
Like, no.
Everybody. No, anyway.
Yeah. I'm sure you could do an awesome Star Wars version of that song.
Yes.
All right. So are we ready to end at this point?
I think so. I think we covered everything.
All right. The end. Wait.
What?
We got... What do we got? Twitter at TheAOPpodcast.com. YouTube.
Instagram.
YouTube, you'd have to basically just search YouTube Agony of Positivity, like the full name.
Yeah, that's why I've been doing that. I hit subscribe, I think.
Yeah, I didn't subscribe with my own. I just now, with my own Twitter, followed our Twitter for the show.
Yeah.
Like, I never use it. I might one day tweet. It feels weird, like, if I'm tweeting to, like, another podcast.
Yeah.
With our podcast one, because it seems like we're trying to get attention, like, as opposed to just, I don't tweet from mine and I never have, so now I don't want to.
Sure.
So I don't know what to do with Twitter. I might have to start using my own.
Sure.
So we'll have to see what happens there.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's been like 7 or 6 years of never using my Twitter other than as a news feed.
Yeah.
To start using it seems dirty, because there's a lot of pressure on that first tweet ever. Sure. It's like when you get a new car, you just kind of hope you get that little scratch or dent, so it's over. Just rip that Band-Aid off.
And on that note, you guys have a great week.
No, don't. I want your week to suffer so that my week feels better. But still live your life like a goose.
Bam.